You know what fascinates me? The fact that humans have spent over 30,000 years selectively breeding wolves and wildcats into the companions we know today, completely transforming their DNA to match our needs.
That's such an interesting perspective on pet evolution. How did we end up with such distinct personalities between cats and dogs?
Well, it really comes down to the different roles we bred them for. Dogs were shaped to be collaborative hunters and protectors, while cats were valued for their independent hunting of pests. Those ancient choices still influence their behaviors today.
So in essence, we've been conducting this massive evolutionary experiment that's given us these incredibly different companion animals.
Exactly right. And what's fascinating is how these distinct traits match different human personality types and lifestyles. Like, take the independence factor of cats. They're essentially self-sufficient roommates who handle their own grooming, exercise, and bathroom needs.
That reminds me of some recent research showing that cat owners tend to score higher on independence scales themselves. There seems to be this natural alignment between pet and owner personalities.
Oh, that's so interesting. And you know what's even more compelling? Studies have shown that cat owners are actually more likely to have advanced degrees and live in urban areas. It's like there's this whole demographic pattern.
And what about the financial aspects? I've seen some surprising numbers about the lifetime costs of both pets.
Well, get this. The average lifetime cost of a dog is around $23,410, while a cat typically costs about $16,800. The difference largely comes down to things like dog walking services, training classes, and more frequent grooming needs.
Those numbers really put things in perspective. You're essentially making a significant financial commitment either way.
And speaking of commitments, let's talk about the time investment. Dogs need structured walking schedules, training sessions, and regular social interaction. The average dog owner spends about 300 hours per year just on walks.
That's nearly an hour every single day. Though I suppose that forced exercise might be exactly what some people need.
You're absolutely right about that. Studies have shown that dog owners get an average of 22 more minutes of moderate exercise per day compared to people without dogs. That adds up to about 134 hours of extra physical activity each year.
The health benefits must be significant then. Have there been studies on the impact on cardiovascular health?
Oh my goodness, yes. Research has shown that dog owners have a 24% reduced risk of all-cause mortality and a 31% reduced risk of cardiovascular death. It's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Though cats provide their own unique health benefits too, don't they?
They absolutely do. The frequency of a cat's purr, between 25 and 140 hertz, has been shown to promote healing and reduce stress. Plus, cat owners have been found to have a 30% lower risk of heart attack compared to non-pet owners.
That's fascinating about the purring frequency. Nature's little healing machines, aren't they?
And what's really interesting is how both species have adapted to understand human communication. Dogs can recognize about 165 words on average, while cats actually understand their names but often choose not to respond.
That selective hearing in cats really speaks to their personality, doesn't it? They know exactly what you're saying, they're just exercising their right to ignore you.
You know what's even more fascinating? Recent studies have shown that both cats and dogs can read human facial expressions. Dogs focus on the right side of our faces, while cats pay attention to our overall body language.
The way they've evolved alongside us is pretty remarkable. I've read that dogs have actually developed specific muscle structures just to make eye contact with humans.
Yes, it's called the levator anguli oculi medialis muscle, and it's specifically for making those puppy dog eyes we find so irresistible. It's a perfect example of evolutionary adaptation to human preferences.
Speaking of adaptation, what about the whole cats versus dogs intelligence debate? That's always controversial.
Well, here's something surprising. While dogs have about 530 million neurons in their cerebral cortex, cats have 250 million. But it's not just about quantity. 90% similar to humans.
That's really interesting. So we can't really say one is smarter than the other.
Not at all. They're intelligent in different ways. Dogs excel at social cognition and understanding human cues, while cats are superior at problem solving and spatial awareness. A recent study found that cats can remember solutions to problems for up to 10 years.
The way they adapt to different living spaces really shows that problem-solving ability, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And here's something fascinating. Cats in urban environments have developed different vocalizations than their rural counterparts. They've essentially created a special language for communicating with humans.
That's incredible. It really shows how they're constantly evolving to fit into our world.
And you know what's particularly interesting about modern pet ownership? The rise of multi-pet households. About 52% of households with dogs also have cats, showing that these supposedly opposing animals can absolutely coexist.
Though I imagine that requires some careful introduction and management.
It definitely does. The success rate for dog-cat households is actually highest when the cat is introduced as a kitten and the dog is already an adult. There's about an 80% success rate in those cases, compared to just 40% when introducing adult cats to adult dogs.
Those statistics really highlight the importance of timing and proper introductions.
And speaking of statistics, here's something that might surprise people. Despite dogs being considered more trainable, cats can learn just as many commands. They simply need different motivation techniques.
That really challenges the common perception about cats being untrainable, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And here's another myth buster. While dogs are often considered more emotionally attached, studies using attachment theory protocols show that cats form equally strong bonds with their owners. They just express it differently.
So it really comes down to understanding and appreciating these different expressions of affection.
Exactly. And that's perhaps the most important takeaway from all of this. Whether you're a cat person, a dog person, or both, success in pet ownership comes down to understanding and respecting these animals for who they are, not who we want them to be.
That's such a powerful point to end on. It's not about which species is better, but about finding the right match for your lifestyle and expectations.
And remember, whichever you choose, you're becoming part of a remarkable evolutionary story that's been thousands of years in the making. These animals have adapted to be our companions in such unique and beautiful ways.